Sea, which carries 800,000 passengers every day and contributes $3 trillion to the national GDP. The 10-mile stretch of the NEC is the focus of the Gateway program, which includes vital infrastructure that is more than a century old and was badly damaged by Superstorm Sandy. Given the significance of this corridor, can you describe, Mr. Anderson, you can take the lead, or anyone else, the regional and national impacts of failing to complete the desperately needed infrastructure upgrades called for in the Gateway program and along the NEC?
We did the Northeast Corridor Commission, which was put together by Section 212 of PREA, which are all the states up and down the corridor that contribute to the operation of the corridor, did a study in 2016 and estimated that if the Northeast Corridor were out of commission for one day, it's $100 million a day in economic impact. I would actually submit that if you did not have the Hudson tunnels and you had everyone trying to get over to Manhattan, it would basically ensnare the whole region into gridlock. And the follow-on effects of that would be so significant that I think that we shouldn't get to the point where we think that's what it's going to take for us to prioritize this as an investment. If the president has said the money has been set aside for Gateway and Hudson Tunnel funding, we are ready with the Portal Bridge. We've done the design. Design's complete. We've gotten all the environmental approvals. We are ready right now, and in fact have some preliminary construction underway on the first piece of that that's really important. But in our view, this is the most critical piece of transportation infrastructure in America today.
In addition to that, Mr. Anderson, I represent the largest passenger rail maintenance facility in the country in Beech Grove, Indiana. The work done at this facility is critically important, I think you know that, to the safe and efficient operation of our passenger rail system. I have heard numerous concerns that there may be plans to cut back on the operations and possibly personnel at the maintenance facility. Is this true? And if so, please explain what you all are planning. Considering the short time here, I'm going to ask you for a separate briefing on any plans to significantly change or reduce the work performed at the maintenance facilities.
Right. And I'd welcome the chance to come by your office.
Sure.
And sit down and talk through where we are. We're refleeting the both the locomotion on Amtrak, so we just placed an order to replace the P-42 fleet because it was in violation of EPA regulations, about 30 years old. That fleet is maintained in Beech Grove. Over time, we have to refleet the Amtrak rolling stock. In the current budget, there's no plans to close Beech Grove. Okay. We have been bringing down some of the work there. And I think over the longer term, we have a much bigger effort underway to figure out where we're going to do our maintenance work. We have two big construction projects underway right now at Amtrak to build maintenance facilities in Seattle and Oakland. And we have major work on the East Coast, in Brooklyn and in Sunnyside Yard and down here in DC and Ivy City. So we have 4 big construction projects underway to expand our maintenance capability, but I think that footprint's going to change over time because we're moving to much more modern equipment. And I'll be glad to come by your office and sit with you and talk about what it means.
Does that change equate to significant layoffs or a complete shutdown?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't to layoffs at all because as we have to morph how we do business at Amtrak, we can't do it on the backs of labor. It has to be in a way where we mediate the issues in a way that doesn't impact people because there are changes that we need to make in our network and changes in the way we do business to modernize from a 70s railroad to a railroad that'll meet the demand of millennials today. But as we go down that process, we have to be very mindful of its impact on our people.
I look forward to speaking with you in the future. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Chairman, I yield back.